and Barnesville graduate of 1998. He served his country in the United States Army. His first tour was from June 1998 to June 2001. He was reactivated in November 2005 with a deployment in Iraq as helicopter door gunner. He returned home to Barnesville area after being discharged from the U.S. Army in September of 2007. Currently, he is the owner of Amazing Metal Works. Welcome, Jim Sobtzak.
Thank you, Megan, for that introduction. I'd like to go off script real quick and say that I just had to shake this young lady's hand. Her essay was quite outstanding. So far, it's our big favorite. When first asked to speak today, I was hesitant for several reasons. First being that I have much to say about vets, but what information would be relevant and appropriate to such a wide range of an audience, different levels of experience and ages. Many veterans I know keep much to their experiences to themselves, mostly for the fact they feel they may be misunderstood. For the same reason, I wonder if my words might even be wasted. You see, in my short lifetime, America has changed a lot in a lot of ways. And when I was a young soldier, for example, I was not even authorized to wear my uniform when traveling on commercial flights inside the continental United States. Now it's commonplace to see troops traveling in any airport in America. And when I traveled in uniform in a post 9/11 world, people would walk up to me and thank me for my service. And it was always a welcoming thing to hear. I just didn't know the appropriate response to it. Thank you seemed too trite and too vapid. My pleasure was not accurate. No problem was all wrong, because going to war is a big problem. I would then begin to think about the servicemen and women that had no such warm welcome. And because of this, I would also continue to think about the dramatic shift in ideas and public opinion, and how more than ever people understand that soldiers and Marines and airmen, sailors, do not write foreign policy, they merely enforce it. And with the good, there's still bad misconceptions. I watch the news, and the things most commonly said in reference to veterans are likely to be, strangely, homelessness, or perhaps a criminal action or violence is committed, and the media draws blurry lines to connect the two about how they were once deployed. And I also feel that PTSD could be the most overdiagnosed mental condition on the planet. My point is, it concerns me that there is an undercurrent of misconception that combat veterans are damaged goods. And as I explain, I've touched yet another reason why some of the veterans keep to themselves. Veterans, I don't feel, are damaged goods. And I don't feel that, I also don't feel that their political pawns or their benefits or rights or political leverage. In fact, I find that sadly shameful when politicians use these things in such a manner. But I digress. I do encourage you to thank a stranger in uniform. And if all he can say is, "It's good to be home," or perhaps a silent nod of approval, know that your words are not wasted. Or perhaps you know a veteran that is a bit more closed off, and someone less likely to talk. It could be that they don't want their now peaceful world and everyone in it to have anything to do with the world they've seen. Simply enough. Soldiers do talk to other soldiers. I recently met a gentleman, and as we talked, I learned that he had been a mechanic, a tank mechanic in World War II. And when I asked the unit he was in, we had a good laugh after finding out that we were both Big Red 1 soldiers. And he also found it entertaining that I too was in a tank battalion for the first 3 years of my life in the Army. And a friendly connection was made that spanned decades of history between his service and mine. His daughter later said to me, "I heard you had a good talk with my dad." And she went on to say how, and it surprised me, how he never speaks of it. And she was happy that he wanted to that day. And I suppose hearing this made that friendly chat among old soldiers that much more special to me. Here I stand surrounded by veterans of World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam War, Cold War years, Desert Storm, OEF, OIF, and several other conflicts. And I'm humbled by their presence. And I even question if I was the right speaker to represent them. I trained in the Army for 4 years and deployed to Iraq for 1. And then, following that, I decided to become a civilian contractor and moved to Afghanistan for 4 years. So, cumulatively, I have 5 years deployed to a forward area in my life, half of a decade. And I still question if I was the right guy for the job, because of the amount of respect I have for veterans, the people that held this country, this idea together. Well, in all of this, what have I learned? I've learned the same things that millions of others have learned in the past. As long as mankind has passionate anger and contempt and mistrust for his fellow man, there will always be war. And as we enjoy America and its riches, we cannot allow ourselves to become so complacent to our easy lifestyle, nor display the hubris that would suggest, because the American dream did come true, that we need not defend it any longer. The veterans in this room understand these things, along with the idea that peace at any cost is a pressure cooker of chaos. Because of the actions taken by generation after generation of Americans to preserve our way of life, and it is a gift that we all enjoy today. And there could be the cynic that would write off my words as nonsensical, patriotic favor. I give you the right to your opinion. And yes, America is not perfect, because it's run by human beings which are, by definition, imperfect. But in everything I've seen, traveling the world, and seeing our entire great country and nation, I am convinced that we are doing something right. Yes, we can fight dumb wars smartly, and we can fight smart wars dumbly, but I'm still not discouraged. I'm convinced we're doing something right, and it's worthy of defending. And to all the men and women that recognize that enough to answer the call and take an oath, you will forever have my respect and gratitude. Thank you very much.